So the book of Boba Fett has kind of like a children's book feel. Um, Specifically, I think because it streamlines details from the franchise that existed from Star Wars. Um, like, you might take a look at this general criticism and say, well, how do you know what what a realistic crime empire in space is supposed to look like? How can you say they're doing it right or wrong? And in this case, it's because that answer has been shown to us previously in this exact location. So there is actually an example of what we might think of as this being done realistically. So, as I was saying, we get that picture of what of how what we're seeing now is a simplified version of something, because previously, so Boba Fett has become a crime lord, and he is the leader of a previously existing criminal empire, which has appeared in like 2 movies. And I mean, look, you know what Star Wars is. This is Boba Fett has taken over Jabba the Hutt's empire, or at least as much of it as he can get, which is a little confusing. You kind of have to be a nerd to maybe to have heard of this. But like Jabba the Hutt potentially had control of crime on more than one planet. He was kind of a big deal. It looks like Boba Fett only has part of one planet, so call that what you will. And plus, what's weird about it though is he's living in the mansion where Jabba the Hutt lived. Like, it's his main residence. And I guess they just decided once Jabba died, they were just going to move the office. So anyway, but like in the past, like Jabba was having like chariot races. There were thousands of people in the stands on this planet. He was living in his throne room. When people went in there, like, it was crowded. There was like figures lining the walls. It was a dangerous place to be. In this show, at the very beginning, in the prequel, in the teaser, first of all, it's just empty, and there is a replacement for Jabba. It's this one guy, kind of the last member of his posse, and he's sitting in there. Boba Fett marches right in, shoots the guy, sits down in the crime boss chair. He has no problem doing this. I think, and then in securing the palace, he has to get like 3 people, and then that's what he has. That's his whole organization. He sits in this empty room, and he has a robot, and he has 2 of the green pigs who like guard him. Not that well. And like, what's unrealistic seeming about this is that, all right, so maybe he has a smaller territory, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's supposed to be the same territory, which really throws it off. So he's gonna go and be doing the same thing that was happening under Jabba the Hutt, except this time he doesn't have anyone with him. So whatever was happening then, now it's just him and like his 3 friends. Like, he has one lady who came with him, so she was already there, and the robot stays back, and then the pigs come with them. So, and they just walk like, they probably have a space, like a little car, but they just walk to people's like mansions or their houses and knock on the door, and they're like, I'm crime now, I'm all just give me the money. Everything's the same. Look, come on now. Pony up. It's the fact that he's doing all these things alone. Like, I don't know why a giant slug, which is Jabba the Hutt, was very rich, but he was, and he had, thousands of people around him. And like, Boba Fett might have some money because I guess he has a bank account and he probably left his money back there. But, it's basically he's got his rifle and one friend. So for one thing, I don't know why nobody went and took Jabba the Hutt's palace. So basically, stay here with me. There's no reason why he should be able to be doing any of this. He's alone all the time. Like, no one is even really guarding his door. Like, they send someone to kill him, and he gets right in. I don't know where his guards went. Like, those guards used to work kind of hard when I was in charge, but evidently they were asleep or something. Because this dude just walks into his room, he walks up, and he grabs him by the throat in his bed. Like, it's that easy. Nothing happens. Oh, also, so he decides to increase the size of his group by just randomly hiring teenagers, who fortunately are cyborgs. So, like, they can slow down a little bit. So, I guess that turned out to be a good decision. But, like, they're just kind of, like, mildly judgmental and idealistic, and he's like, oh, you seem like good kids, come on. And then, also, at that point, they're like, yes. People have said that the show is somewhat childish, and I don't think you can really state enough how great the effect of that is, because it's like the main character is living a child's fantasy version of the thing he's doing, like he doesn't really know what it would be that he would be doing in that situation, but also it just has to work out because he's the hero. So, I mean, essentially he's doing the work of thousands of people by walking around and going wherever he thinks he has to go. Like, they distill this entire, like, supposed societal enclave down to a few quick errands and meetings. So, that's kind of weird. Also another thing about it is, let me see here. He gets beaten up a few times. Alright, so, like, he showed up at the end of The Mandalorian for the first time since The Return of the Jedi. So, he shows up in The Mandalorian, and Mandalorian's a pretty realistic show. Realistic, whatever. It's a little gritty. I don't know how to describe it. But, he's a real cool cat. He fights even better than Din Djarin, who's a pretty good fighter. So, now, jump forward to Boba Fett, the Boba Fett show. He's, like, taking over, like, all this stuff and doing the superhuman thing. Yet at the same time, he is, he's not really performing that well. Like, not nearly so well as he was previously. Like, he gets beaten up a lot, and the only reason he stays alive is because other people save him, which we really haven't seen him do at all, but is sort of something that happens repeatedly in this show, which is also worth pointing out.